Righto folks, I'm in my office. I'm charging my phone. So this is a good time to make a video on what I'm trying to achieve. I'm doing a basic a butt joint. Right. This is going to be a wine rack, and I'm using wrought iron nails because to me they're aesthetically pleasing, right? And plus this is going to be carved, and it'll be oak stained, so it's going to give it the nice rustic antique type look. So with these wrought iron nails, this is about an inch and a half long. So I know in this wood, because it's a three-quarter inch thick material, it should be 2 inches long. But if you've ever nailed 2 inches into this red oak, then you'll know how nerve-wracking that is, and how many potential massive problems you'll run into where you may potentially end up throwing the work away. So this is the first time I'm actually going to use 1.5 inch long nails, and from what I've seen here, that there's even this little tiny piece, it's so solidly holding these two pieces together that, you know, I've got no doubt in my mind that this will keep up, or keep hold, even with this nasty split here. And this is the whole purpose of this video. Now, this split has occurred because this nail is on the very edge of the piece, okay? So for me to solve that issue, I would have to either use a different type of nail, which I will show you in a bit which one, or if I want to use this one, I'm going to have to drill a pilot hole that will be much larger, or not much, but just slightly larger than the hump. I think it's the hump that is causing the issue, but I'm not 100% sure. It's just my assumption. So on this side here, right, even though it's close to that edge, that's not going to split. That ain't going to happen. This is the part that wants to split. So there's plenty of supporting material, right? So it's not going to split there, and it's not going to split here. It's not going to split at all. So with this here, I can use a 1/8 inch pilot hole, right? Some would say even a 7/64, but it is very hard trying to hammer that nail in on such a small pilot hole. So on this one here, I will have to use possibly a 3/16, and I won't be drilling it all the way through, right? Because I really want that holding power to be retained. So I'll drill maybe halfway or 3/4 of the way, and then the rest I will use the 1/8 inch pilot hole. So I should not be getting a split on that if I do it that way. So these nails, I believe, well, first of all, these are not hand forged nails. These are just replicated, machine forged, and which is why they're less costly than the hand forged one. I'm not entirely sure if they ever use these type of nails on furniture, but on large wooden doors, I've seen them used there before. So I don't know if this is a modern day gimmick, but this is not ideal. But I'm using them because I cannot get the other nails that I really, really want to use. So first of all, when this goes into the wood, right, it forms a wedging action. And I'll show you here on Lee Valley's website that I brought up. You can see here how it's the nail is just wedged itself into the wood, right? You can hammer it in, but trying to pull this out, mate, it's not going to happen, you know. It's not going to happen. So the nail that I want is actually just like this, right? No different really to, actually it's much different. I don't want the hump in it, so it's this knob here. It's called the black steel diamond head forged nail, and I can't pronounce the name, Clouteri Riviera or something like that. Now they do not sell anywhere other than to Lee Valley, and Lee Valley is charging horrendous shipping prices. $100 shipping price for a box of few nails. I just find that ridiculous. But you can see there's no hump, and it's a square cut nail, right? So it's in a square, and all these ridges along there, and that just grabs onto the wood, you know, and there's no coming out. Now you can see on this box here that this crate, how close that is to that, right? And this is not even, I don't even believe this is 3/4, I think this is a 1/2 inch. And you can see how well it's not only holding the box, but there's no split, right? So you can use a pilot hole of a 6/7/64 on this one without a shadow of a doubt, and it'll be easy nailing with the same effect as the wrought iron nails. So this is highly, highly recommended. I would recommend it anyway. And you can see here what I was talking about is it's square cut, and all these little rough edges, that's what holds it together. It holds it, you know, keeps the nail in the wood. I don't think, I could be wrong, but from what I'm looking at this, it doesn't appear to be wedged. So it probably is, it's not wedged. So it's all the holding power is from this rough edge here. See, it's clamped onto, all that clamps onto the wood. Look at that, all of that clamps onto the wood, and you know, there's no way for this thing to come out. So I have tried filing this down, but it's just more work, more hassle, really. Look, it is what it is. I can't change the situation. I can only work with what I've got. Unfortunately, you know, again, this Clouteri Riviera, which I apologize to the French for not being able to pronounce this properly, they only sell to Lee Valley, and apparently I think they almost went bankrupt. At one stage, they weren't even supplying the nails anymore to Lee Valley, and Lee Valley didn't hear from them for a while. So I've written to them. I've asked them if they can, supply to other people as well, but they basically laughed. So it is what it is. Again, for whatever reason, they're doing what they're doing it. But that's the ideal nails that you want. And hopefully, one day, they will become available to Australia. But till then, I mean, not even these things are available in Australia. Except, actually, they are. There's one guy, and he blatantly, and I really want to mention the website, but, I'm holding back here. He blatantly claims that they are hand-forged, and he sells them as hand-forged nails, like including that expensive price. And I've told him many times to stop doing it, but he doesn't listen. And I guess I don't know if people buy these nails from him. But these are not hand forged. These are just replicated nails, and they're made by Tremont Nails, I believe. So, but they're very, very good nails. They have unbelievable holding power. But unfortunately, these things, you've got to plan ahead. You have to experiment. You can't just, willy-nilly drill a pilot hole and then bash it in, because you may end up with this, and if that's going to go to a customer, you're up the creek, and you've just blown it. You've absolutely blown it, and you've got to start all over again, because you're not going to pull that apart. And even if you do, it's just going to be a mess. So that's all I wanted to say, guys. I hope this helps on this particular problem. Thanks for watching.